Hi everyone, it's Beth, and today I'm going to be making a hanging wall planter. I used 3 of these wall hangers from Dollar Tree, one of Dollar Tree's hanging shelves, some Eucalyptus, which is from Walmart, Twine, Waverley antique wax, 3 screws, you need a drill, and hot glue. The first thing I went ahead and did was cut off the hanger that was on the shelf. And I cut it pretty close to the bottom of the shelf because I'll be reusing part of it. And then took the hanger and took it off of that metal ring it comes on and saved both of those. And then I took my Waverley antique wax, brushed it on the entire front with a sponge brush. And then once it was covered, I took a baby wipe and just wiped down the front of it and blended in all of that wax. And then I did the same thing with all of the sides. Just brushed it on and blended it in with the wipe. I did not bother doing the back because you won't see it. I used my heating tool to speed up the drying process. The wax does dry pretty quickly, but this just sped it up a little bit more because I'm impatient. Once the shelf was dry, I put the wall hangers on it just to see how I'd like them and lined them up, and then took my ruler and kind of measured out the spacing on either end from the end of the shelf to the side of the wall hanger. I did about 1.5 inches on either side, and then kind of just eyeballed the center one to get that centered in between the two. And then measured a little bit on each to make sure that they were the same distance from the hangers to the top of the shelf. Took a Sharpie and marked inside the little hole that is on the back of each hanger. So I knew where to put my marks to drill the screws in. And then I just made sure that they were all the same distance apart. Once I had my marks made and made sure that they were accurate, I took my drill and a drill bit and just pre-drilled 3 holes where those spots I marked were. And I just didn't go down very far to make sure that it didn't go all the way through the board. After I pre-drilled the holes, I added the 3 screws to those 3 spots. And again, when putting in the screws, I made sure that they didn't go all the way through to the back. After the screws were all in, I took the hanger that I had removed off in the beginning and took 1 string from it. It comes with 2, so I just used 1, and then added back on that metal hook, or metal ring I should say, and then trimmed up the ends, and then twisted and pushed through the string on the top section, and then just tied them off in a knot on the back. And after I did that, it was a little bit too long, so I just pulled a little bit more out on one side and retied it, and then adjusted my ring to make sure it was in the center. After I had the hanger attached, I took the twine because I wanted to cover up that bottom hole, and the twine matched really well with the hanger that came with it. So I just hot glued it to the back on the side and then wrapped it around a few times, not too thick, maybe around 6 times, Made sure it covered that bottom hole. And then hot glued it right to the back again, cutting off the excess. And then I did the same thing to the other side. After that was done, I took my wall hangers and just set them on the board over the screws. And they have a little hole in the back, and then you just slide it down onto the hole. Just made sure that they were on there nicely. And I wanted extra stability, so added some hot glue. And then placed it over the screw again and slid it down into place, pushing down the hot glue. And I did that with all 3 of those. So this is how it's looking so far. And then the final thing I did was I ended up adding in some floral foam in each of the hangers so it would hold the eucalyptus into place better, and just spread out the eucalyptus I had between the 3. And that is it. Super easy and super simple, but looks really, really pretty. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching.